how can we transcend the constraints that when we walk into a session, we all know that feeling of being like, fuck. Oh my gosh, the lighting is really not ideal. So-and-so is not cooperating. The weather is doing this and I needed it to do that. Whatever it is, this principle, the secret, the unlock from this principle is to look at whatever the thing is that's making you, oh no, and think to yourself, how is this the greatest gift of the session? Truly, how is this shitty lighting? What is this showing me? What is the fact that, sorry, stereotype here, dad over there is very obviously not in a good mood. What is that showing me about how I can more meaningfully move in this session? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Help Me See. Today is special. I am giving you a sneak peek into one of the most important principles of conscious creation that is part of my new program that I'm offering photographic artists. This is the one that I believe has set me apart and really helped me to acquire this feeling of being invincible in sessions. Truly, I'm not full of shit. I'm not saying that to just, try to bait anyone. And the reason why I'm sharing this one outside of the program is because I want you to have this powerful, incredibly important, and incredibly simple unlock to take with you in your photographic practice, whether or not you decide to join Conscious Creator. So before I get into sharing that snippet here, I want to let you know that my breakthrough sessions, my sacred vision, I was calling them sacred vision expansion sessions because that's what it felt like in my body, but it's a mouthful, and everyone else that does NLP right now is calling them breakthrough sessions. So I'm going to go ahead and start referring to them as breakthrough sessions as well, because it's just simpler and I think it's easier to remember. Anyway, so my neurolinguistic programming breakthrough sessions are currently pay what you want. Since I had recently finished my certification, I really wanted to make it available to anyone and everyone that is interested in the experience of self-discovery at the unconscious level. It's deeply powerful work. I've been doing these every single week with people, and I get goosebumps in every session. It's really incredibly powerful work. But I want to let you know that because I'm about to launch my new program, and that's going to take logistically a lot more of my time and focus, those sessions will be going to their regular standard price of $500. So if you have been considering booking one of these breakthrough sessions, I encourage you to do it now so it could be at whatever your comfort level, price point, whatever that is. If you want to check out the little spiel I have about what NLP is, if you're not quite sure what it consists of, I made a video on the link. I'll link it in the show notes so that you can actually click it, hear a little spiel about what the experience is, and decide if it's for you. That is going to be switching over and increasing to that $500 price point at the end of this week as I get ready to open Conscious Creator. So without further ado, here is one of the principles of Conscious Creator. Your capability to create powerful work is not dependent on anything external. Your capability to take pictures that you love, pictures that you're proud of, pictures that you believe in, is not dependent on what is happening in the session, is what kind of session you walk into. We all know that feeling of walking into a session and thinking, fuck. You get triggered by some of the constraints that you're seeing or a vibe that you're picking up or the weather app, whatever's happening. And we get in our heads about what these constraints are going to prevent us from doing. And I'm here to share one of the biggest unlocks in my photographic practice over the last 15 years that I believe has truly been one of the biggest contributing factors to setting myself apart and creating wildly unique photographs that feel like me and have come to be the thing that I'm known for. And I say wildly unique specifically because this ability and this practice that I'm about to share with you that I have, to some might appear to be inconsistent. Consistency is a word that gets thrown around so much, and it annoys me because I think that it contributes to a lot of limitations and constriction in the creative process. To me, consistency is in how clearly we're able to commune with our instincts, with that inner approach and foundational quality that we have, not, superficially what something looks like or the type of photography we're doing or the style or the kind of session, whatever it is. So my flavor and my sacred instincts that come with this principle are the things that enable me to not only create wildly unique and different images in every shoot, but it always feels like me because it's very rooted in me. So this is one of the 12 principles of conscious creation that I share in my program, Conscious Creator, a program for photographic artists to be able to truly and deeply and unconditionally harness that sacred vision, no matter what, in any circumstance, in any session. And it's teachings that are not trendy. They're timeless. They're principles that will serve you forever. I'm not interested in Band-Aid solutions or quick fixes of like, oh, if you're freaking out because the sun's too hard out, if you go and find this tree and the shade here, it's not about recipes. It's not about Band-Aids. It's about enduring foundational principles to live through and to come from in your practice. So I'm sharing this one here because I believe that it's one of the biggest ones that artists suffer from and can really limit what you're able to tap into and see in every session. And it's transcend constraint. How can we transcend the constraints that when we walk into a session, we all know that feeling of being like, fuck. Oh my gosh, the lighting is really not ideal. So-and-so is not cooperating. The weather is doing this and I needed it to do that. Whatever it is, this principle, the secret, the unlock from this principle is to look at whatever the thing is that's making you, oh no, and think to yourself, how is this the greatest gift of the session? Truly. How is this shitty lighting? What is this showing me? What is the fact that, sorry, stereotype here, dad over there is very obviously not in a good mood. What is that showing me about how I can more meaningfully move in this session? So let's make it real. If you're walking into a house and it's a newborn session and it's super, super dark. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I didn't mean that example to come up and for that to be so convenient. Plug. If you're walking into a newborn session and it's really dark in there and you're like, oh my gosh, you usually shoot bright and airy, whatever. Where is there a slice of light coming through that could be so freaking amazing. This house was very dark, and it was going up the stairs. There was a window and there was a slice of light coming through. And this is one of my favorites. It was so beautiful. If there is a lot of clutter around a house and it's not something that feels inspiring for the vision that you normally respond to, is that offering you the opportunity to get closer, to take tighter shots, to really focus deeper on what's happening on the faces? Is the weather not cooperating, raining? Is that offering you a sacred opportunity to have the kids run and get all soggy out in the rain? Or is it directing the shoot inside to where there's something even more sentimental and special to capture there? If whoever is not in a good mood, is that telling you that the original plan that you had for the session is no longer relevant right now? It's not serving you. So how can you pivot? How can we take a pause and decide, like, what would be more fun? What is something that would feel better than what we originally had planned? Should we just walk instead of sitting on this blanket in the middle of this field? Let's go on a hike. Like, how can we shake up this energy and infuse it with something that feels good? So it's a lot of using your intuition and your instincts, and use it in a way that's like, get excited for those things that you bump up against, because those are truly the gift of what's going to help you not only transcend the moment and offer a deeper and richer experience for your client, but for yourself. Because every single time that you do this, that next session, you feel even more immune to, like, doubting yourself. That's what's true for me. The second that I stopped panicking of, oh my gosh, the light's hard and hard light makes unflattering portraits. The second I took that belief and that thing that was laid upon me from well-meaning other photographers showing me the right way, the second that I ignored that, and I wouldn't even say ignored that, I'd say, look at that and smile and think, how is that the greatest gift? I was able to break through and make work that actually excited me, and not just like the safe work that you're like, oh, okay, I got the shot and I know that they're gonna feel comfortable with it because it's flattering. That's not the type of work. If you're here watching this video, that's not the type of work that you're interested in making. You want to make photographs that deeply serve emotionally your client and feel expressive and meaningful to you as well. And you're not going to get there by walking into a session and having your vision cut off or horse blinded by avoiding something that freaks you out in a session. Lean in, dive in head first. If you run at that wall, if you run at it so fast, how can you bounce off of it and into a more exciting opportunity? This is one of the 12 points of focus that we're going to go over in Conscious Creator. If this feels liberating to you, then I invite you to check out the program at large. And if you have any questions, if you have any specific constraints that you're like, okay, but how might this one be a gift? Then shoot me a message and I will take the challenge and see if I can spin it around. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to share this with you. I hope that this serves you, regardless of if you have any interest in the program. I hope that next time you're in a session and you get that feeling of like, take a deep breath and remember, how is this the greatest gift in this moment? What is this showing me? I cannot wait to hear and see what you create with this super, super important principle in the back of your mind now as you move through your photographic practice. Let this build in you. Not only are you able to create more powerful work as a byproduct of having this in the back of your mind, but you're able to build on it and build on it and build on it, and it will serve you forever. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. And please share with me any magnificent imagery you make as a result of this principle. If you enjoyed this episode and want to get in on actual conversations with me, join the Help Me See podcast private Facebook group. Every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be hopping on live for Q&A on the latest episode and for free consulting if you need a bit of help thinking about ways to save your memories. Did you get something out of this episode? I really, really, really hope you did, and I would love to hear from you. I'm on a mission to empower you to feel peace knowing that you are not missing your life. One of the best ways that you can support me is leaving a review, and honestly, I'd rather hear about the memory you saved because of this podcast rather than any kind of accolade. Tell me how this podcast has impacted you, and 1, I'll probably cry. And 2, I'd love to give you a shout out on the show. Take a minute and head out to the link in the bio to write a review now on the podcast.